power, you never outshine the master. You see what I'm saying? Like, I even had that conversation and said it to Drake.
But I wouldn't be shocked if this man right here wanted to serve Drake some humble pie. And this man being Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group.
Diedrich Williams, who's behind bars for life for murdering rapper XXXTentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger, or maybe pointed the finger, at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake.
Y'all won't believe this, but I wouldn't be shocked if this man right here wanted to serve Drake some humbly, and this man being Lucian Gre, the CEO of University. Okay, get this. 50 Cent has officially jumped into this messy industry war against Drake, and the shocking part? This comes just months after he was totally Team Drake during that whole Kendrick drama. Remember last summer when Feud was showing nothing but love to Drake? They even had this whole moment together in Toronto. But honey, times have changed, and when I tell you Feud has completely flipped the script, he's out here trolling Drake like it's his actual job. And here's the tea. It's all connected to this wild lawsuit Drake filed against Universal Music Group. So for those who missed the drama, Drake actually had the audacity to sue his own label. He's accusing them of using bots and payola to boost Kendrick's diss track Not Like Us. But let me tell you, Universal Music Group isn't just sitting pretty. They're supposedly getting ready to come for Drake in a way that'll make your jaw drop. We're talking full exposure, all the skeletons, everything. Word on the street is that Drake's label bosses have been sitting on a mountain of dirt about Drake and the OVO crew. And remember when Kendrick dropped that line about the embassy about to get raided too? Well, people are connecting the dots, thinking Kendrick was hinting at some Diddy-level activities happening behind OVO's closed doors. Now that Drake's basically bitten the hand that feeds him, insiders are saying UMG might give him the full Diddy treatment. We're talking complete industry takedown. And who's living for all this drama? 50 Cent, of course. He's already throwing shade left and right.
Nigga, that's Drake. Yeah, that's Drake you got in there.
Okay, let me spill all the tea about what went down last July. Right when the Drake and Kendrick drama was getting super heated, 50 jumped right into the mix. He posted this photo, and I mean the photo, of himself hanging with Drake in Toronto. 50 captioned it saying they were brainstorming and that he and Champagne Papi were going to get the camera rolling biggest thing on your TV. And that's not all. There was this other clip floating around showing 50 and Drake just living their best lives, laughing and drinking together. Now, let me tell you why this whole situation had people fuming, especially on the West Coast. People saw 50 teaming up with Drake during the Kendrick beef as the ultimate betrayal. I mean, hello? 50 owes so much of his early success to Dr. Dre. But wait, it gets even messier. While Drake was playing besties with 50 in Toronto, he pulled this super shady move, posting a photo of himself in front of this black BMW that looked exactly like the one Tupac was in when, you know. Now, before you go crazy, no, Drake didn't actually buy that car, but come on, the timing, the look. People were convinced Drake was sending some kind of message to Kendrick, and honestly, the disrespect. What made it even worse was that 50 was right there when Drake posted that photo. And sure, 50's from the East Coast, but everyone knows he's got those deep West Coast connections through Dr. Dre, who basically launched his whole career. So for him to be hanging with Drake during all this? Major side-eye material. But here's where it gets juicy. 50's done a complete 180. He's now trolling Drake like there's no tomorrow. Get this, 50 recently shared this behind-the-scenes video from a trip with his G-Unit crew, including Tony Yayo. They're on this private jet, and 50 asks Yayo what he's listening to. When Yayo says he's checking out Kendrick's new album, GKX, 50 throws the shadiest comment ever, saying Yayo gets a pass for listening to Kendrick.
Yeah, it's a long flight. Show me something for
Listen to some music. Nah, I listen to music right now. What you listening to? Kendrick shit. That's because you know I where you get a pass. Get a pass, you listen to Kendrick. Nigga, that's Drake. Yeah, that's Drake you got in there. I heard about this ring, man.
Well, the niggas from G-Unit didn't give him nothing. I gave him stuff.
Come here.
He already got what he got for bringing them.
me. So how did you give me something?
So why did 50 suddenly switch teams? Well, honey, it all comes down to those legal petitions Drake filed against UMG and Spotify. In this wild filing, Drake basically accused UMG and Spotify of working together to manipulate streaming numbers just to make Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us, look more popular. And the streets are talking. People are saying this made 50 totally rethink his support for Drake because, let's be real, who runs to the courts over a diss track? That's just not how hip-hop works. But it's not just 50. The entire industry is turning their backs on Drake right now. Everyone's dragging him, saying that Drake's suing because he lost a rap battle just proves everything Kendrick said about him being a colonizer was spot on.
The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're gonna accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay? Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why I'm giving him donkey of the day. Okay, I'm giving him donkey of the day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture.
The tea is scalding hot because the whole industry is now piling on Drake and calling him a Karen. But trust me, that's the least of his worries right now because these legal moves against UMG, they might just be the biggest mistake of his career. Here's the thing, UMG has had Drake's back for years. Word on the street is they even helped bury some pretty sketchy allegations against him back in 2021. And let's talk about that insane deal they gave him. We're talking $500 million. That kind of money was unheard of in hip-hop. Even UMG's CEO, Lucian Grange himself, said Drake could get whatever amount of money he wanted.
They scheming. Drake says, tell Lucian I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget. Tell Lucian I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget. Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up because he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
But hold on to your seats because this is where things get messy. Remember that lawsuit producer Lil Rod filed against Diddy in February? Well, originally, it named Lucian Grange and UMG as co-defendants. Lil Rod claimed, and I cannot make this up, that Lucian was financing and enabling Diddy's alleged criminal activities. The lawsuit was wild. Lil Rod straight up said, Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Grange visiting Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida and Los Angeles, California. And get this, he claimed when Grange would visit Diddy's home, it would always be in the evening, and they'd disappear for hours in Diddy's bedroom. But that's not even the craziest part. Lil Rod alleged that Lucian aided, abetted, and induced Sean Combs' venture, and was one of the co-conspirators who provided vast sums of cash which made Diddy's criminal venture possible. But here's the twist. In May 2024, news broke that Lucian and Universal Music Group were suddenly removed from Lil Rod's lawsuit. I mean, are we surprised? Lucian is literally the most powerful man in the music industry right now, so of course his lawyers worked overtime to protect him. Just when Lucian and UMG thought they were in the clear from Lil Rod's lawsuit, the whole Kendrick and Drake beef started heating up. Kendrick was dropping hints that he could expose even more of the industry's dirty secrets. And you know UMG was watching closely. The last thing Lucian wanted was to get dragged into drama with Drake and Ovo right after dodging the Diddy bullet, but Drake just couldn't help himself. He's out here stirring the pot again with these legal petitions against UMG, and insiders are saying he's playing with fire. He might end up getting the same treatment as Diddy. Remember when Drake dropped 100 gigabytes of content with those unreleased tracks back in August? Well, Universal wasn't playing around. They hit him with a copyright strike so fast those 3 new songs vanished from his official site. Drake even tried to call them out on his Finsta, posting the screenshot of UMG's takedown notice. But instead of backing down, Drake doubled down hard, and now he's knee-deep in drama with UMG. Fans are already theorizing how this could all blow up in Drake's face. Some are saying UMG might turn the tables and expose all those shady rumors about Drake and Ovo. Remember those wild lines from Kendrick on Meet the Grams, where he called out weird behavior in the industry? He was talking about artists using their homes to streamline victims, leaking videos to push agendas, and even predicted Drake's mansion would get raided just like Diddy's. And then on Not Like Us, Kendrick went even harder, straight up calling OVO certified pedophile. Drake's response on The Heart Part 6? He claimed he's too famous to be a pedophile because if it was true, he'd already be locked up. But let's be real, was that even a good defense? Rich and famous usually escape justice for years. And here's what's really weird. Drake randomly name-dropped Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown on the same track. And we all know about those bizarre rumors about Drake's friendship with Millie when she was just 13.
He's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day and he's like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful, I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Here's the thing that's got everyone side-eyeing Drake. Kendrick never even mentioned Millie in his diss tracks or hinted at those rumors about her and Drake. So why did Drake bring her up in his response to Kendrick? And isn't it strange that Drake wanted to mentor Millie and give her dating advice, but wasn't interested in mentoring any of the boys from Stranger Things? Like, why would a grown man want that kind of relationship with a young girl he's not related to? If anything, wouldn't it make more sense for Drake to mentor a young male actor since he also started in entertainment as an actor? But nope. Drake was only focused on Millie. Drake stayed quiet about his friendship with Millie for years before finally addressing the backlash on his 2023 album, For All the Dogs. But instead of explaining why he was texting and hanging out with her, he flipped the whole narrative and called fans weirdos for even bringing it up. And here's the shocking part. Millie isn't even the only one. There are so many rumors about Drake allegedly trying to make moves on other young women in the industry. Let's talk about Kylie Jenner. Back in 2013, when Kylie turned 16, Drake was 27 and performed at her birthday party. There's even this photo floating around of him kissing her on the cheek, which has people looking at him sideways now, especially with all these allegations in Kendrick's diss tracks. And then there's that infamous video where Drake got way too touchy with a young fan on stage, and the comments he made about her looks after she told him her age? Seriously cringe-worthy.
You look very nice tonight, by the way. I like curly hair, I like you. Stand right there. Just give me like 2 seconds, I'm gonna get ready for you, because I gotta be ready for you.
But wait, it gets even messier. Fast forward to 2018, and Vice dropped this bombshell about 31-year-old Drake allegedly dating model Bella Harris, who was only 18. The age gap alone had people raising eyebrows, but it got even worse when reports came out that Drake actually met Bella during his Summer 16 tour with Future, which means she would have been just 16 while Drake was 29. And that's not all. In 2019, Billie Eilish, who was 17 at the time, told Vanity Fair that Drake, who was 33, was regularly texting her. Like, this isn't just a one-off thing with Drake and younger women. It's starting to look like a pattern. Some fans are even comparing it to how Diddy was always spotted with young male stars under the guise of mentorship. You know, all those old clips of Diddy with Usher and Justin Bieber that have everyone side-eyeing now. Meanwhile, Kanye West threw another wild card into the mix during his interview on the Download podcast, hinting that everything Drake does has to get the blessing of his rich baby daddy, Lucian Grange.
For everybody, all of the great, you, Weeknd, Pluto, Metro, Ross,
Kendrick.
like Kendrick,
Yeah.
like there's something obviously wrong with this one individual that no one wants to speak about, and I feel like you're the only person that's gonna really put it out there.
Hey, you say rich baby daddy, it's like Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy, Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian.
So all of his streams in the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucian.
Well, Lucian worked for people who control the banks in Africa, who keep,
oh my God.
Think about
it.
We had Black Wall Street, we had Harlem, we've been gentrified, and we ain't really been pulled together since, other than to maintain what they call the black vote, which you don't have an opinion in that vote. And then they get all these celebrities, they go on TV like, we got a problem with his political opinion. He's out of control. He's bipolar. He's anti-Semite. He's whatever they want to call somebody to try to get people to not listen or have, take away the impact.
But hold on to your seats, because this gets even crazier. An old blind item from 2018 has resurfaced online, and it describes Diddy and Drake as alleged gatekeepers behind two secret rings in the industry, one targeting young male talent and the other focusing on young women. The blind item is shocking. It talks about this interesting dynamic in the music world that's apparently sick and disgusting. According to this blind item, if you were following this one-named permanent A-list singer, going to his parties, working with his producers, that meant you were part of a group dedicated to finding young male talent. Meanwhile, there's this other group led by a foreign-born one-name permanent A-list singer who's all about finding and developing females below the age. They supposedly model themselves after R. Kelly and his development of Aaliyah. They even informally call their group LMK after the song Let Me Know featuring R. Kelly and Aaliyah, and apparently wear it on their shoes to identify themselves. Now, while Lucian Grange managed to get himself and UMG out of Lil Rod's lawsuit and bury his longtime friendship with Diddy, Drake has dragged himself back into the spotlight in the worst possible way. Sources close to Lucian and UMG are saying Drake has no idea what kind of storm he's walked into. UMG isn't just disappointed, they're furious that Drake of all people would turn on them after everything they've done for him. But what do you think? Did Drake make a huge mistake going up against UMG? And do you think UMG will actually go after Drake like they allegedly did for others who crossed them? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss out on this next video.